China. Buenos dias.
Yeah, that didn't last long. We're hung up again. It's not hung up bad, and I'm not gonna make it worse because it's just flat out not moving. But I really want manual lockers on a semi, and I skimmed a little gravel off the driveway. I'm actually out of. I try and always keep a gravel pile here at the farm, but this time of year, they vanish because rock just disappears, especially driving semis on it. Ideally, I would concrete the entire yard and never have to mow grass or grade rock, but I'm poor and I can't do that. So, gravel it is, but it just disappears this time of year. Like, it's there today and gone tomorrow. But I skimmed a little off the driveway and packed it some more and put, I don't know, another 6 inches of rock on top of it this morning. And I'm fueling the semi up now, and we'll see if it works. I doubt it, but we got like 2-3 more loads out of that bin, and then I'm done with it. It's like a 6,500 bushel bin, so not the end of the world, but still kind of sucks, but oh well. And I'm chugging water because my sinuses, like ever since the farm show, everybody that I hung out with at the farm show is sick. My wife doesn't feel great either. She was there. And it's not like I'm like throwing up violently sick. It's just like sinuses and just feeling crappy. So trying to drink a bunch of water and haul a bunch of corn, which grain dust and sinuses just didn't a good combination to start with. I got it to move a little until I didn't. Now the tractor's digging in, so I guess what I will do is unhook it, take the skid steer, repack it, rehook it, and try again. I really need 2 people right now. Do you have anything to say about this situation?
I'm not surprised.
Okay, don't rip the axle out. Okay, put it in first gear. It's in 4th right now. Right, your gears are right there. See the 4? You're in 4th gear. Put it in first. Okay. You remember how to put it in forward? And over. Remember?
Yeah.
Do not pop the clutch. Whatever you do, let it out easy. Okay?
I'm nervous.
Just let it out easy. Just barely let it out. Whatever you do, do not pop the clutch. And when I wave, just shove the clutch in and then hit the brake, because that's a short chain and it's hooked really close. Okay? It makes me nervous because she's not that experienced. I should probably go get another chain and hook this way longer, but we're working with what we got right now. Well, we got that little bin by the mud all the way down to the sweep, so I called in the cavalry. Got a couple neighbors here helping me haul, and we said hell with the muddy bin. I got it down to the sweep. There's maybe 800 bushel in it. It's just a 21-foot bin. So, yeah, that's gonna wait till the ground freezes and we switch bins, so good enough. On to the next one. And we're back. So this is load number 3, plus they took down 2 this morning, so it's load number 5, I guess. So life's good. We're loading up number 6 right now. We're back to hauling more white corn today. Plan is to get 2 trips down and get 1 more loaded for tomorrow. Then I might try and maybe pull the planter out today. It's supposed to be really nice today and tomorrow, so might start going through that, tearing it apart. Other than that, let's kind of see where the day takes us. Well, we made it again. We got the land where the sheep are scared on the other side of the river. And good old Indiana over here. This is the longest line I've seen down here. Everybody's hauling white corn today. Every truck in front of me has white corn on it, wrapped all the way halfway around these bins, back up to the dump. So I think what it is, this buyer's call contract, the January through March contract, they're finally calling everybody, telling them to bring it. So they're getting all their white corn at once, which is fine. They're loading barges. And then I talked to a guy the other day that said they just emptied I think it was 460,000 bushel bin to store some white corn in, plus they're loading barges too. So kind of interesting. Kind of curious which bin this was that was 465,000 bushel, but they're big bins nonetheless. They would hold, what, 9 of what I just built and then some. So big grain bins. But I don't know if you guys can hear it down there, but the frogs are going wild down there. It sounds like spring. It feels like spring today too. I should honestly be wearing a t-shirt, but anyhow, hurry up and wait. Well, we got lucky and they opened up a second pit and we got pulled right up to it. So that'll speed things up, cut our wait time in half. Love to see it. I don't know whose grain setup that is right there, but I really, really like it. They got a wet bin, it looks like 2 dry bins, an overhead loadout, a Nico mixed flow dryer. And I'm sure if I called Ripco, we could make that happen at my place too, but I don't really want to pay for it. So, but I really like that setup. It's simple. It's not got downspouts going everywhere. Got 2 legs in the same tower. I like it. I like it a lot. I don't know whose it is, but every time I drive past it, I'm like, that's a nice place. And we're loading again. Since this takes about an hour to get a semi-load out of these little bins, we're gonna go ahead and jump in the Magnum and pull the planter out, start looking over it while it's actually outside and I can see a little better. All right, let's get this thing out of here. It's tight getting it in and out, but the shop is just big enough that it's doable, but it's not fun. We made it. This is going to be a big change to start planting with. I am not used to having something 60 foot wide to plant with, and it's going to take some adjustment. I mean, it's not a whole lot wider than 40 feet, I guess, but I'm hoping to just do 1 pass of end rows on everything instead of 2. So do 60 foot of end rows instead of 80 like I was. But anyhow, we're gonna back this thing out of the way real quick. Basically just got it out while I was filling the truck and killing some time. We're gonna back it beside the shop here and then get ready to go. Well, I'm a pretty bad YouTuber, but we've got 3 semis loaded and ready for in the morning. And the planter unfolded. I got the vac on, got the vac running. The only thing I still got to do, I got to figure out, I don't have the hydraulic hoses hooked up quite right. So I've got some figuring out on there to do. I got to pull all the meters, replace the brushes, put new openers on, just some scrapers, wear parts, basic stuff like that. And I got to figure out the Pro 700 and how to set it up and all that. But I'm probably going to call a case dealership to help me get the planter actually set up. But other than that, thing worked. It unfolded. I didn't see any cracks in the frame. Looked that over pretty closely. So yeah, we'll grease it, put some wear parts on it, and hopefully be planting in about a month and a half. It is getting windy, but we are loading again. Life's good. Absolutely no line at all. Love to see it. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but there's even ice on everything this morning, so that's cool. 76 degrees yesterday. Ice today. If you don't like the weather in the Midwest, just hang around a while. It'll change. Morning. It was a late night last night. I started on this yesterday afternoon and pulling openers off. The more I get into it, the more I get into it. We've got smashed fingers. Already ran a drill bit through one of them on purpose because if you know, you've done it. Or you got to drill your fingernail because it's going to be really painful if you don't. So you're better off just doing it. Anyhow, got that done. Putting openers on this thing, and I keep getting into just more and more wear parts. Whoever had this planter last didn't clean any of the meters out, and it looks like it's sat outside with seed still in the meters. So it got water in all the meters, which means all the seed started to rot and mold, and then the mice got in there, so it's bad. It's bad. So not only are we rebuilding all the iron on the planter, but we're also rebuilding all the meters now, which, as you can see, makes a mess. Okay, apparently the phone doesn't zoom in, but it makes a mess. There's seed corn down there, and so that's going to be an outside job, not a I want to cover the shop floor in shitty seed corn job. It's cold outside though, so for now I'm just doing the openers. I'm greasing the planter. I have not planted with this thing yet, so I can't speak to it a lot. But their row units on these case planters seem way lighter compared to a Kinsey. Like, everything on them just kind of has a little slop, a little play, and granted, it's a used planter. It's gonna have some of that, but like, I've never had a Kinsey that had that much play, and I've put a ton of acres on them. I don't know. I don't know. Like, the gauge wheel arms, for example, I've shimmed them, but like, they don't have grease fittings. The Kinseys have grease fittings, so these are just metal on metal, just wearing all the time. And yeah, I mean, you can get new gauge wheel arms, which I got some, but it's still just, it's metal on metal. Like, there's nothing greasable, there's nothing to really stop them from continuing to wear. I don't care for that. In that sense, I kind of like the Kinsey better. I hope it wasn't a mistake buying this. I think it'll be a good planter, and I've got the parts here to do. I've got new brushes. I've got new plates for all the corn meters. The bean plates look new, so I'm gonna just roll with them for this year. I'd like to do the precision E-sets on this, which would probably mean I would do precision seed tubes too. And I don't know if I've got a unit apart, but if I do, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So one of the wear items is this little deal here. And you can see it's got a lot of play in it. And then this shoe behind it. Hell, I'll get one apart and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. This one here, you can kind of see. But these wear down on the bottom. So I'm replacing all them. But what I've run into is a lot of these boots, the opener has gotten slop in and started to wear into that. Now they're $100 a piece. Now, does it really affect the overall planting of the planter? The $100 piece, not the wear part, the little, I don't even know what they call it, the trailing something. Here, I got one right here. These I am replacing. I got all of them right there. But that piece that it sets in, some of them, the openers started to like wear into them a little bit. They're $100 a piece, Now, I don't feel like it affects the planter at all. Like, as far as actually putting the seed in the ground, it's not going to make any bit of difference whatsoever. But they're wearing, and I don't like that. And while I'm already in there replacing parts and already have it apart, kind of makes sense to do it. But, you know, there's another $2,400. There's 24 rows on this thing. They're $100 a piece. And that gets, you know, no big deal. And then you add new brushes and you add new clips, because based on the brushes I've pulled so far, the clips are just effed after you pull them out. So, especially because they're rusty, because they've had rotten seed in them. So the meters are getting rebuilt. I don't know. I feel like this thing was kind of ran hard and put away wet. I haven't lost faith in it. I think it'll still plant fine. And again, we have a ass load of parts here to make it plant fine. But like the corn meters, $35 a piece, no big deal, but it's still, you know, another $800-900 to throw in, plus $2,400, and there's $3,000, and I'm already in at $6,000, so coming up on $10,000. And I mean, that's just farm equipment in general. I mean, honestly, $10,000 is still not too bad to be rebuilding this planter. But like, take a combine for example. $10,000 doesn't go far on a combine at all. It hardly buys the tire. It doesn't buy the tires anymore, let alone an auger tube, wear parts, gearboxes. Repairs are expensive. That's what I'm getting at. But you know, you budget for it, you plan accordingly, and I was budgeted to stick money into this planter. I still bought it for the same price I sold the Kinsey, so I'm not really out any money to have this planter per se. And the Kinsey, it needed some wear items put on it too, so it wasn't like I wasn't going to stick any money into it. I just figured if I was going to stick money into a planter, I was going to stick money into a planter that was newer, was a little bit bigger. I don't know. I haven't planted with it. We will see what kind of job this does in a month and a half-ish, 2 months. But that's my little rant. I'll get some footage of actually rebuilding some of these rows when I'm not doing the ones right beside the tires, because they're a pain in the ass. There's not any room to work in there. Once we get out to doing some of these rows on the wings, they're going to go quick. They're going to be easy, because you're not beside the tires. So that won't be bad, but it's my little rant. And I got some work to do on the liquid system too, if I want to use it. I'm not positive that I do yet. I think Infero's kind of wishy-washy on whether it pays or not. Some years I think it does. Other years I think it definitely does not. So I don't know. Would like to get that up and going if I have time, but I've spoke about that in other videos. I want to plant beans first, and it ought to be warm and dry by the time I'm planting corn, and shouldn't need it anyways. But story for a different day. Anyhow, that's the planter. Now I'm going to get to work on it.